Right. I'm just going to be carrying on with the stage. I'm probably rant and rave because I've got a lot on my fucking plate at the minute. So, last thing I was doing was getting that panelling all across the ceiling done, because that's the last thing that needs to be done. And I just need to texture a few things, throw in a couple of light models, rims finished. Then do the collisions, but I might also show how we do masking for this project because that's something I haven't actually covered. So I might do that. Probably because interest has been perked when people have been mentioning masks and death and all that kind of stuff. So I'll start doing this panelling, get that textured, and then that'll be that done. So let me begin with that. I know I wanted to leave it with a good ending point, so I knew exactly where I was when I started again. And yes, did I miss something with that? Yes, I did, didn't I? Oh, Jesus. I suppose it doesn't look as bad if you don't look at it that way. Let me just do this. I can get rid of the tops of these corrects. That's, yeah. Right, let's not get rid of those bits because we need those. So, keep the sides. I'm just a little bit confused why I didn't add those. I don't get it. Why didn't I do that? I think I don't know half the shit I do half the time, so let's just go with that. Oh. That's not done. What part's that supposed to be? Right, well, I can get rid of you. You. That's just confusing me. Get them deleted. Right. Let's turn that microphone around a bit. Right, so I'm going to give this the same texture as, not that, that's the save item box, I don't need that. No, let me understand where the concrete texture is. Where's the concrete texture? I know I imported it. So where is it? Ah. Give it that texture. I swear I try to find textures out of times like a bloody most biggest pain in the ass ever. So, let me carry on. So now I've got you textured. Well, textured being the operative word, ain't you? Map it. That's why I split it up, so it just makes it that little bit easier. Like so. And I don't get any like blurriness or stretchiness when I'm doing it. I still don't know why I didn't start panel there. I'm going to have to do some adjustments to it, I think. So that's that done. See what I mean? I don't understand why they've done that. I suppose it shouldn't be much of an issue considering it's just going to be up there in the ceiling, but it's going to be a pain for me because I know it's there. Why is the 2? shouldn't even be worrying about this because this is only for pre-rendering, but I'm still going to be questioning why the hell that's there. Right, okay, I do the bottom bits now. Can I get rid of this bit here though? And that bit there. Why is it not letting me get rid of this bit here? That's it. This makes it easy for me to bloody do all this. Right. At least it's not like stressed me out in that I don't have to like what's the word? Remodel stuff. Render organics. If I have to render another bloody tree that's taken about 6 hours to render, that can go to hell in a handbasket, which is what I've been doing recently. Whilst also just try to keep whatever sanity I've got left, which unfortunately at the moment isn't much. I should have not done that one, but you never think. This is the result of it. Okay, let's just have a quick look at that. Not too bad actually. Right, let's have a look at it in render. It does the job. It does the job it needs to. I'm not gonna ramble about certain things. Right, so I think I can safely can do that, and then obviously that's going to be there, so let me just see I can do this like I was thinking, just because I don't want to be doing all this bloody work, because general laziness now applies there. Right, so I can how am I going to do this? Let me delete those and then just kind of like drag that up. Why is it in UV mode? I want it in vertex mode. Drag that up. Right, what I want to do now then is I'm going to grab those, drag that to there, drag that to there, and then I've got to try and overlap all these bloody UVs, haven't I? Oh, freaking hell. Let me just grab them, move them there. Now I know where they're at. What an idiot that I am. So I wanted, I just want to set. Now the question is, am I going to be able to do all of this the way I think I'm going to be able to do all of it? So, which means I have to adjust, the textures need to be definitely adjusted a bit. Let's drag it along. Break it up into sections just so that the textures don't look that stretched when I do UV map these, because I don't like the fact of it having to be all stretched. And I'll just drop that to there because I'm going to have to do some duplication on that half again. Right, so again. Why has that got parts above again? I'm confused. Why would it have those? Right, I have to delete a whole bunch of shit this afternoon. No. TV mapping these won't take me long. Well, if I fucking don't use the right thing correctly. Sorry, I mean, you're not going to see that. I'm not going to have like a really close angle of that, am I? So, just look at this again. It's fine. Because no way, I just want to get every little detail counted for all these little minute parts, but it's not even there on that wall. It's going to irk me so much, isn't it? I'm rambling. What am I doing? I know where I'm at. So there's only like a few things left I have to do here physically, and once that's done, I can, like I say, go over the process for stuff, because I keep forgetting that we've not gone over certain bloody things with this, and half the time, you know, especially that everyone's been bringing up bloody mass data and everything, it's like, yeah, let's remember how much of a pain in the backside that used to be. Alright, this is where my issue's going to be in it, because I'm going to need to, like, shrink it all the way down to there, and then again, if I built this correctly and it's exactly the same, all I have to do is just delete the, what did I delete? What I've got to do is just grab those down to there, delete those. In fact, I'll probably get rid of deleting them as well. And it's just a case of merging these two together, whilst also deleting those edges because we don't need those. Oh, and I need to shrink that in, of course, because that's not the right thing, is it? I don't think it matters that much, but still. Let's drag that in. Need to do some quick UV maps here, but I won't take me long. I'm tempted to just make that go all the way up to the stage just for consistency, so I think I might do that now. I've been toying with it for the past like several days, so may just do that. Excuse my stomach. Okay. Do not need these parts because they don't need to be rendered. Done. So you can get these then, do that. I'm just losing the fucking well. We'll leave it this precise, so I'm looking at this. I think it's because once you've started looking at these assets and you've looked at them long enough and you just don't want to be bloody going crazy with them. And again, it's not like you can see most of these, so it's not like it's an issue per se. Does that mean I'm going to take one of these and put that up there as well, just to be a cheeky chappy, but make it smaller? I think that's what's going to happen, isn't it? Let me just... Oh no, hang on, what am I doing? Nope, that's what I want to do. The hell am I doing? Do that. Yeah, right, okay. Just want to drag these up. And then just drag them up. That's it. Push that there. No. Just push these in a bit. That's it. Is this for consistency? I know I should really have something behind there, but there's only so much I can do with these sprites. There's only so much I can do. Whilst drinking my cup of tea. Since I've now cut down completely all my coffee usage. So that's just a little random thing I just throw in there. I haven't drank coffee now properly for at least a month. So just wanted to see, do I have stuff I do now without that kind of caffeine in my system, and I'm doing better with this. So. That's that all done. I'm willing to put some white sauces in now. The question is, what's going to work for this room? What can I grab from the RE3 stuff? What wall light can I use? I'll think of something. I'm trying to think which ones will look interesting in here. Buy out scene as well. Oh, I didn't know I was that close to... Oh no. It should work, shouldn't it? This is outside almost. I didn't realise it was that far off nearly. Let's go look in the clock tower stuff. I'm trying to remember where the hell stuff is now. Let's try looking in the bedroom first. Oh, yeah, we've got those, haven't we? Those would work. They'd actually work really well, actually. We'll have those in there then. For wall lights anyway, I'll have to come up with something for the ceiling light, but those definitely look good as wall lights, so I'm going to do them. But first things first. Excuse me. Right, they've got them on, and obviously it's got that on. So what I'm going to do is create another Lambert. I'm going to call this one, call it bronze. Why would I call it, why would I make it a Lambert when I want to make it a blade? What the hell am I thinking? Right, make this bronze. Let's call it bronze. Obviously try and get reduce reflectivity because I don't want that. Need the UV texture editor. Remember that is on screen. I assume that's the glass, so I want to highlight all of that. Just pull that onto it. And I need to make one more for the lights, so and obviously make this white, condense that. It's just this bit here because that's the glass, isn't it? So I'm just going to do that, plug that on there. Why has that not worked? What's going on? My face mode, that would explain quite a lot. That's that done. Okay. So, I'll call it double light. Done. Then export that and just put this in assets. So, white. What's saved? Because obviously I peed around with that. What's that saying? Layout not found. What's not for? No, that's double light. Okay, so that should be. Where's that? What? Oh, you're gonna be one of them here. Great. Let's see what happens when I import this into Blender then. Give me a minute. I didn't know I'd be using bloody Blender today. Guidance assets. This is double 5 kilobyte. What? Why is it not saved it? Right, the best thing to do is just import it as is and see if that bloody works then. The hell? Right, edit and all that, freeze transformations as well. Double light. Spot selection. Let me just test this one out. Yeah. I have never, in quite a few years, ever had this ever happen. Right, I'm going to do this as an OBJ then, because it should work. I just don't understand what the hell's going on. I'll just slap a lambda on it for now. And again, freeze transformations, delete history and non-deform history. And then black spot as an OBJ. I don't know why it's not working. Never had it do that before. Well, I have, but not in quite a while, so I don't understand why it's doing that. It's there, that. Okay, I just continue being a crazy, deranged lunatic of an engine that you are. I'm not even going to bother anymore. I think this one's actually got metal on it. Yeah, I'm going to use that then. And just plop that on. I haven't got a light source though, so I'm going to do that now. Do that. I can probably put these in between here. Obviously put the light source correctly in between it too. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these so that they don't cast shadow. Right, you know. Done. Might just make this so it's not like all of them too much, because you don't want to like drown out it all with bloody light. Ignite. That's not negative 90, that's negative 90, thank you very much. There we go, that one there. There. Is that done? Get a few more lights in there. Put that one there. And there. I might do that for actually all of them actually. Get rid of that light there. Oh, I did it with that one, didn't I? But I need to like put in the center of each one, didn't I? So put that there. And just put that there. Put that there, and then I'll leave that as that. Right, so all the lights have got that. Mm. Yeah, that will do for that. Right, now these I need to get. I think that's the pack for them, don't I? So seems it's. I should know I can read reviews. Right, so I want that light there, or at least one of them. Or maybe I could. No, maybe one I'll just do. One will be enough. So I'll do. Delete that. So put it on that one, drag it in. Right, that's what I've already got that on there. Might as well just stick a standard generator one on it. So actually that'll do, because that's what technically would be. First transformation. Let's export that. Stick to OBJ for this one as well, and don't get back into there. Get Searchlight out, because there's actually a few like stage lights on the stage itself. So I'm just going to put these in here. Two, three, four, six of these bloody things. So that's just a little bit after that, isn't it? Just after that. Right, now I need to UV map it. Done. So I've got one. Yeah, actually, where does that? So that ends about there. Six. So right, so I need to adjust the spaces for all this now, do I? Right. It's about as close as I'm going to get it. I think I will actually put one just above the door, which you know may look a bit weird, but it's just bloody dark there. So what I'm going to do is put that there. Why is that? Like that. Realise that's quite a lot of lights in here, but at the end of the day, is a stage, isn't it? So I've got all that done. I need to now concentrate on getting this bloody thing done. I'm just gonna throw that red texture I've got. Well, it's actually a material. It shouldn't really be a fun now. Let's have a look what that looks like. Which we're not going to see from there, so I'm going to assume it's camera 4 potentially. There we go. Actually, that don't look too bad. There is one thing I need to do. So I think I've figured out why it's been looking a little bit weird. I need to drop a curtain on top of that chair there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this on. I'm going to drag it on again, but I'm going to change the size of these to 25 each. And then obviously drag that on. Of course, again, I'm going to have to use that nucleus bloody thing. Let me just do that. Ooh, it needs to be a bit smaller then, doesn't it? Oh! Yes, fine. So just swap that to 4. That, don't we? Right, so what I'm going to do is same thing as I usually do. So I'm going to go into dynamics. Create an cloth out of U, but then make an end constraint on that, or a passive collider. And then I just want to animate this. So why is that not working? There we go. Right, might just need to like rotate it a little bit. And of course I would probably have made the floor a flip, but so look at that. Let's I don't think I can use that, can I? No, no I can't. This should make those passive colliders as well, but then it might get stuck. So I don't know, that looks alright. It's like it's fallen down. I know I can still see behind, but you can't really see that much. Okay, let's delete this. Let's just see what I can do. No, maybe not. I don't think that'll work actually. See, the problem is I can't do that because then it just looks so goddamn weird. If I can't push that along and make that bigger because then it does that. I can't scale it in because that'll just make it too bloody short. It's just filling holes, I assume. That's what's probably got me a little bit on there. Oh, the uneasiness of it. That one looks a bit better, actually. Right, I need to do this wall, don't I? I'm going to have to keep that thickness that it has because that's what bloody uses. The problem is I don't know if I should keep the consistency going, which I'm going to have to anyway. I don't need to see those. Actually, I can see them. What the hell have I done? I delete another flaming part I didn't need. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot about that bit, but I'm not going to do it on that. I can't keep it consistent, am I? Right, do this then. let me just redo this again. Let's redo it on this side too. Don't know why I didn't do that one. But it's not in a good mood, is it? Right. Right. Right then. So I'm not gonna get rid of them. Do need to get rid of no, just those. Ooh, that's for that one. I need to select the concrete texture on these. Okay, where's that? That one. Why do I always put that one? What would it? Wallpaper. Whoa, why is it? Whoa, that's what I wanted. So it's let's do that. And then what I'll do, because I know there's a light there, I'm going to put one of them lights I've already got here on this wall here, just so there are lights there. Obviously, make that a hell of a lot taller, higher up. What I'm going to do is move that light, move it out there, and render. Hello. That's that what I need to put on lights. So I'm going to put one of them in. Let's drag that there. See what happens when I delete that one. I mean, that'll do for the backstage. I'm not really trying to... Yeah, no, because I'm not trying to make it go all obscure and everything, so that's done. Right. Light sources are in. I need to do that dropped over plant plot though, don't I? Right, I'm trying to... That is... What did I net? Oh, did I just have to import that from... Brilliant Free Visited. Every time it says that, no, I want... That one. That's it. And where do I need to drop this one? So that's next to those there. It's fallen over on it, so let me just got to scale it up a bit first. Problem is, it don't actually give you a right scale, does it? It's just... Right. I'm going to just freeze those transformations, but I need to flip this other way. So, I know it's like supposed to be snapped off and everything, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Because why would somebody snap a plant in half like that? I'm never going to believe it. Never will figure it out, but then this is guiding all over again, isn't it, really? So I'll just go with that. Right, that's that done. Which should show that plant pot if I've got it correct. Yes, there it is. Looks fine, that's everything where it needs to be. Now all I have to do now is build the collision data, isn't it? But I'm going to also show how we do masks as well. Because I might as well show the mask process, how we do stuff with the mask in here. Since everybody's been moaning about, oh, the depth is the hardest thing to figure out compared to doing this, because 3D modelling's a doddle, it's like, alright, okay. Personally, I find both fiddly to some extent, but I never find anything too difficult than the other, and 3D stuff I can just do like that, so it doesn't really matter what way things work or whatever, it's just the way we are. Okay, so collisions data, I'm going to have to import that from my room. Except I don't know which one I'm going to import, but I shall do it. And we shall get on with it. Might as well get the starting area stuff, because there was kind of a nice little variety in there. Right. I'll just move you across and out over there for a bit. they're going to have to be some very small last ones, which is fine because, again, I can duplicate a lot of these. We might be able to get away with using that there. Just don't make the radius too bloody big. So yeah, I've already mentioned what collision data does in game, but if you don't know what it does because you've never played the original games or you've never looked at it from that kind of perspective, what your collision data does is when you're walking along a room, because we know all the renders are 2D environments, the 2D static images, so obviously we're working in a it's beginning 3D environment, so obviously it's going to look weird if your character can walk across a 2D plane without being able to walk through certain objects. So the idea is that there are these invisible boundary boxes that are called collisions. That's collision data, or SCA data as we know it as, and that's basically collision data that means that when a character tries to go near it, it's going to work like a wall in game, or it's going to be like a table, or in the case of this, it's going to be like walking around a set of chairs that are stacked in a certain way. And that's the collision data. Each collision part has its own ID assigned to it, and those IDs can range from various things. But one example of that is your stairs, because they have an ID that's individual for those, because stair collision data for collisions is exactly the same as most of the stuff you're seeing on the screen. It doesn't have any specific trait that you can see, it's just one solid 3D rectangle, and the IDs give it data as in rotation, number of steps, etc., and that's what the engine reads. And that's why stairs are still a bit complicated for bloody me to figure out. But majority of collisions, like walls and that's all done with this. This is how we build collision data, and this is how we make a room so that you can walk around it in a sense, and don't walk through the walls or walk through a bloody table, because obviously there's a collision there, and that's how this is all working. But I need to get it all built again, so you just give me a few minutes to try and figure stuff out and where things are going to go. So this is the starting area from Resident Evil 2. This is scenario A, it's collision data. So this little section here, if you can visualize, that's the Jeep, and that's Kendo's front door there. So obviously I'm breaking this all down, but the idea is simply because we can take these collisions from any room and rebuild them for whatever purpose we want. We can literally do that. It doesn't matter about what room it's from, because again, we can it's all invisible data. You don't see it. It's in there though, but there has to be a few specific traits that it has to adhere to, because some IDs will, as far as I'm aware, I don't honestly know how the hell we did this, because we experimented a lot with this back in the day, and I've already mentioned this quite a few times, but one thing that I did, and I still to this day can't figure out what ID I put in for it exactly, is it's a straight wall, but then there's a sort of gradient collision, so as you get further and further away, it starts to become less and less solid, so you can fall right through it. And I don't know how I managed to do that. I've never been able to emulate that ever since, but it does work as a collision. I had another issue with another collision block where you'd walk into it, but then you couldn't walk back out. So back then it was still a bit of a pain in the ass trying to figure stuff out, and then obviously there's a lot more stuff that's been done, but again, it's collision data. People seem to think we could just throw images in and press build X in, that's how everything works, but it's not how everything works. There's a lot more to it than that. Which is what kind of infuriates me sometimes, because people just seem to think we can pull miracles out of thin air, and we can't. We just build as we do it. Look at me rambling. Anyway, I want to increase the width for that, but I want to decrease the depth because we don't need. We definitely need more than that though. So. Right, so now that's there. Let's get all the walls done first, and I've got that all figured out, haven't I? I'll figure out a purpose for you at some point. Might not though, you never know. Right, depth's fine, I just need to adjust the width. It's not that much. That'll do. So. Now that one will work then. But again, it's depending on what the ID is going to be set to, isn't it? I'm rambling again, but this is how I do stuff. You've got to ramble to understand some of this stuff, because if you don't, question how it's going to work, then obviously your brain just goes a bit doo-doo-lally. I mean, mine does, but probably not everybody else's, but mine does just looking at it. So I'm just going to say ignore me for now, and just watch as I build. It's fine. Right, that's fine, because that covers those walls. That's all hunky-dory there. And I just need one to cover that, and then that's all the... Technically the wall collisions in, but I still need to do all like the interior collisions and stuff. And then I need to do, like I said, the masking, which I'm going to show how we do it, because it's a little bit different to how we used to do it. I'm talking like when I used to do it, like stuff. Because one of the cool little things that Maya can do, and I'm not sure if you can do it in Blender, there probably is a command to do it, is if we're rendering stuff, we can actually specifically mark it as render this selected object only, and it'll only ever render that object. So when it comes to making masks for these rooms, I can literally make it render those specific parts of the mask that I'm going to need. So I'm not having to cut it out of the actual render, and it just means I can cut out those specific parts, render them, bring it into Photoshop and do all the fancy shit I have to do in there, and then just drag it back out, and that's a working mask. And then obviously it's up to Eric on the other end to do that. Because even though I know how to do it, and I know a lot of them have been going on about depth and all this crap, and how, I'll try to figure out frigging all the mask dating data can be a pain in the ass to work with, and it can be fiddly. I'll agree to that, and it is a lot of trial and error trying to get the depth correctly, because obviously we don't have that capability to understand. But yeah, that's just more text stuff you can shake a stick at, basically. Right, I want to get another block in there. I'll put that one in there just to cover that wall. And then we need one for the back, don't we? Which is going to be fun to do. Yep, done. Right, so that's all of those parts of the walls covered. Because I know that probably some people think when they're looking at this, and they'll think, why is it, with this one here, it's so short? How would it determine, like, the whole length of that wall? Would it affect it? And in this instance, I don't think it would. I think it would only affect it if, say, you're going to have like a licker in there or a spider crawling across it, then maybe you might need the whole of the collision block to be that height. But in this instance, it doesn't matter because your character's not going to be walking across the bloody walls anyhow. I mean, that would be fun to see, but it's not going to happen because that never happens in Gaiden as far as I am aware. And I've played it that many bloody times. Yeah, that's me rambling on. But no, that won't affect it. You'll still run up across this wall and it'll still stop you from going out and stop you from running in, and it'll act like it's a block for the wall. Again, it's very... people go on about how primitive the engine is, but it's very interesting how stuff works when you look at it from a different angle. Like, fair enough, in Unreal Engine in this day and age, we can obviously import an asset, and then we can generate a collision inside of that, and you can kind of think, well, it works similar in that regard because you're generating a collision mesh for it. And I know you can create a custom one before you import it into Unreal and everything, but the principle still applies to some extent, if that makes any sense. Obviously, the only difference is we're not applying an ID to the collision mesh that we make. We don't have it as an ID saying this is a wall, this is a circular wall, this is a like triangular bit, this is a angled one, because each ID has a specific thing applied to it that gives it a certain collision. And I know that doesn't make any bloody sense, but it will if you ever look into doing this sort of stuff, because everything's ID'd. I could show that, but I won't do that now. Right, let's just get all these bloody collisions. And I got a horrible feeling I'm going to have to like move everything and then I'm going to cry. Because I don't want to be moving collision boxes and stuff when I've got it this far in. But I'm hoping it won't matter. And I've got it just exactly where I need it, which is at the edge of the border of this. So I won't need to worry about it too much. I think it's just right at the edge. That's like an advantage, like I've explained in previous posts. This little like transparent like rectangle you can see that's got like a target in it, that's how the game's game space works. So that's all of a game's room for an RDT, for standard Resident Evil 2 RDT. That's all the game space that can be used, and if you try and build anything outside of there, it won't acknowledge it. It's got to be within this game space. I don't think it matters too much with collisions. They can go out, but if you try and do anything that it doesn't like putting a camera outside of the range, it will not work. It will complain. It will break. There are various other things that will happen if you do. And as I've always mentioned, if you want to see a little fun thing, take some of the collisions out and you'll run from one end to it and you'll do a Pac-Man. You'll spawn at the opposite end and you'll run back. So yeah. You could effectively make a mod for Pac-Man in Resident Evil 2 if you're so inclined to do so, because it does do the same thing. I don't think anyone's ever done a Pac-Man mod. That would be interesting to see, because like I said, you can do that. And it was hilarious the first 100 times I saw it, and then it kind of lost its luster after that. Which is the norm, really. Oh dear, right. So now I've got all them figured out. Oh, shit, I need the stage floor, don't I? Oh, no! Anything flip the floor? Anything fit that floor area? Ah, no! Because that would mean I'd have to adjust the height, and I don't think it'd work. Oh. Right, I'm gonna try it And if it breaks, well, then I'm gonna have to like rethink it. I'm gonna move it down. I've never done this with like a collision block and moved it down like this. I mean, it could work. I don't want to speculate with it, but oh, I don't like doing this. I really don't. I hope this works because I'll cry if it doesn't. I'm not joking when I say that. I will cry. Um, right, depth. So I will push you back and then push that there. That's fine. Oh no, it's still out a bit. No, right. No, it's the width. I need to adjust the width. Like so. That's it. So that's covering that section of the floor. So obviously when a character walks up from these steps, they'll be on that bit of the collision because that's how steps work. So you know how like you're in the RPD main hall, you got that set of stairs that you enter in, and you click confirm to go down those flight of stairs to the floor below. That's a collision block underneath there because you need to know where to go to and from because otherwise you're just going to go through the floor and then you won't fall through the floor. You'll just get locked stuck in the nether because that's how it would work. So you just fall through, and that's the reason why you gotta have that like collision block there. So when you come from the steps, you climb onto there. But I'm gonna have to do 2 extra collisions there because of the way the stage is built. And then I've got to do all these little bits. God, there's so many fiddly bits in this. Oh my god, I never thought I'd be like fiddling so much with fiddly bits today. And how many times can I say the word fiddly bits? That's fun to say, isn't it? Spoiler alert, it's not. Right, I'm only hoping by doing this it will work. I'm only speculating with this though. I'll cry if it doesn't, because it should work. Right, so that's that whole like collision area there. Again, it don't really matter if it goes out a bit because you're not technically going to see that bit. It's just there so that when the character comes up, they can walk across there. Although it would be cool, though it'd have to be done with IDs, to be able to drop off there and climb back up on it. But that defeats the purpose of climbing the stairs, doesn't it? Unless I block the stairs off. So I'm always thinking of these little ideas because obviously you can change the ID of like an AOD trigger to climb up that and to drop that down, and it would work because it's the right sort of height. I'll have to have a word. I'm gonna have to have a word and see what the guys think because that would be quite interesting because it's the right sort of height, I'd assume, for climbing up and dropping off. But then it defeats the purpose of having the stairs and the door in there, then, doesn't it? But then again, it doesn't because you still got to climb the stage to get in there because you can't go through the. Ah, this room. This is going to be one of them rooms, isn't it? Where I'm just going to sit there and debate every bloody way we can conceive it and then go insane trying to. Right. Anyway, that's all the core walls done. Now it's just a case of doing all these inner bits. So I'm going to have to potentially probably use those collisions for that there. Oh, it might be better to do these separate, wouldn't it? Do the same for this one here. Might just need to make that a little bit more on the width. on the radius now. I think that might be a bit too much like. Oh, let's have a look. Oh no. Right, let me just set it to 1. Let me have a look. That might be right actually. Yeah. Set that as a 1. Set that as a 1 as well. So that it gives off that thing, that's right. Right, so now I've got to do all the blocks for these. Oh my god, why? Why? Anyway. They always say this is the fun part. I personally prefer doing all the 3D stuff. That's my fun part. That's what I enjoy doing. Not bloody doing all the collisions and stuff, but I do the collisions because they can be a pain in the ass to work with. So it's just by having all these extra little bits of collisioning, you can kind of see like how it's going to affect in game, and like you can look at it and see how it's going to work in terms of like going from 3D environment I'm in now to 2D. Because again, all these collisions are what you're going to not see, but you can kind of get an idea, so you can run around all these sets of chairs, and you run up to these, and you've got to curve this little the cylindrical one here, because that's the chair that's on the floor, so you're going to like be able to pass that way, kind of. So it's always interesting when you start seeing like those sort of things start to come into shape when you're doing this. But it's also getting all these in the correct bloody size as well. That's about right. Just put that there. So obviously you'll run around that, and then you'll get that curved little bit that goes around, so you'll run around that way because it's on the floor. And again, there's no issues with like collision blocks colliding with another, because there's no issues with that. It's if you try and do other crazy funky shit, it starts not happening with it. It doesn't start working correctly, and then it has all kinds of issues. And though I've never encountered any, apart from like obscure IDs start giving off obscure results, but that's very technical. I need to change the depth for that one, don't I? So that's fine there for that one. God, the solo ones are just an absolute pain, aren't they? Seriously, they're just an absolute bloody pain. And the thing is, I've still got to do all of these, because these are all going to have little collisions as well. So there's going to be so many bloody little collision bits by the end of it all. Then there's all this stuff on the stage I've got to do, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Then it's all these little collisions in there. Collision for the bloody item box. Oh, but then again, yeah, I'd still need one for the actual item box, despite the fact it's the lid that's the OT trigger for that. That's all done with scripting in the engine now. Right, let's carry on. My rambling continues. So I'll do these as those ones there now. So I'm just going to shrink the depth down, maybe the height. Put them there, and then that's just a width for them. Till it's like that. So I still got to do that one more there, and separate bloody ones as well. Oh my god. Collisions are mad in this one. Of all the ones I've bloody done, this is the one that's more busier than it usually is for every room I've done up to this point. I have to clench my bloody fist in insanity with this. And that ceiling part's getting in the way. It's annoying, but it's got to be there. Right, let's bring this width down. I'll get that for this double set down here. So obviously I need to adjust the depth. Yeah, it's about right. That's it. So that covers that bit, that covers that bit. So it's just single bits now, isn't it? But I think I'm out of cubes now. Okay, I'll use the rest of these then. Definitely adjust the width for that, and definitely adjust the depth for it. Oh, I've just realised I'm going to need those. Oh no. How would we do that? Oh, can that even be done? Would they be able to have little cube collision blocks there? I guess I'll attempt it and find out. Right, so it's that one there. I just need to put one more there. Which will be this one, but then I've got to duplicate a lot of these with the special IDs and stuff, and then I've got to do a lot more. Bloody things I do. Need to downgrade that depth just a little bit then, that should be enough. Perfect, I'll do. So now if I just do a quick top look at this and then just kind of pull in so you can see. So now just try not to imagine all the lovely pretty 3D stuff and then just try and think of it as like 2D with obviously 3D elements in there, and that's basically your collision triggers for where all the chairs are. So when you're running around in game, you're going to run around all of that stack there. In fact, what is there? I might be able to, no, I want to keep that as the stack, don't I? Keep that stack there, so you just run around that. You can run here and between all of these, kind of like. Obviously, it creates an obstacle as well if you've got enemies in there, because they've got to follow the same patrol pattern by these boundaries. They don't have to walk through them or anything like that, but that's me going off on a tangent, right? So what I want to do first with this, I want to get my SCAs. And what I want to do first is also grab every single one of these SCAs and make a new bloody layer for these, just so I know where they're at. And get me the last SCA. And then I'm going to do a modify, edit, duplicate special on that. So that means I've now got a new block I can use. And I don't know what the actual limit is for these. He says there's probably a limit to how many SCAs, like how many boundaries you can have in a room, but I wouldn't know what that is because I don't think anyone's ever attempted it. Oh, maybe somebody has, I don't know. But that's how you create like additional ones. Because if you just did duplicate, like a lot of people would do in Maya, it wouldn't give you all the special attributes. So when it comes to exporting stuff out with these tools I've got, because there's no ID in it, it wouldn't be able to read that ID because it wouldn't have one assigned to it, and then it would push it with an error saying such and such SCA has no ID, such and such, or has an error, and it won't export it. So you've got to have the name conventions correct as well in this, which can be a pain in the ass sometimes. Personally, not for me because I'm used to it by now, but if you're like looking at it and you want to do it like construct these sort of things as a testing of the water sort of thing, if you can get your head wrapped around it, it can be an absolute pain in the ass the first time doing it. Again, there's a lot more to modding than meets the eye. So that's going to cover that bit there. So now I need to duplicate special that as well, which gives me number 22. So I'll just change that to 22 for the object. Check that there. And then do it again. Again, adjust this so that it's 23, not 22. So like I say, it's only because obviously with these in the way you're going to be able to walk into them and around them. So obviously there needs to be a collision block to do that with, because otherwise you're just going to be able to run through them without that collision there. And then that'll look so silly and stupid, because how the hell can you run through a bloody marble frigging... I know it said building over them, what the hell am I thinking? You know, running through a marble object, so like running through like a set of pillars and obviously all this, so it'd look a bit absolutely crazy, and then you'd be asking so many bloody questions like, how the hell does that even defy logic? Or maybe that's just me. So this one needs to be 24. And such forth until we've got all these adjusted. But I hope I don't know what bloody budget with these. I don't even know what the budget is for boundary collision stuff in a room. I hope it's not a lot. I hope it's like I hope it's enough to bloody basically work, because I'm a bit buggered if it doesn't. Right, so that's all that section done. Suppose with this one you can make that attached to that one, so that makes sense there, same for that one, but all of these ones as well. Oh God, why did I do this to myself? Why do I do this to myself? Yes, fair enough, I want to make things just that much easier when we're doing this stuff, but why do I do it? Why do I torment myself with this? Right, I'll do that one last then. Just want to get these core bits done here then, don't I? So no rotation, I've got to do it all by adjusting the width and depth. So yeah, that one out. Decrease the width on this one. So, and again, duplicate special. Boom. This is now number 30. Oh God, I hope I don't go over. 31. Done. I know it looks like a whole bunch of like randomly, position cubes and stuff, but honestly, they do have a significance for being there when you think of the IDs that you give them in Engine. Because then it knows, oh, well, that's a square collision, so the character's going to be able to run like this, and it's going to be able to run around it like that, and it's going to have this sort of special thing applied to it, such and such, such and such. But there is reasons why everything looks this obscure, because again, this is the only 3D data you've got in those rooms. There's no sophisticatedness like these. It's not like the day and age of modern 3D apps that can do that sort of thing. And I do like the simplicity, but sometimes the simplicity can be a bit, I don't know, primitive is usually what I use, but it can be okay. It's, I'd rather we just, I don't know, I'm rambling about that one, right, marble pillars and all that stuff, though. Keep probably able to bloody walk through them, so I've got to fix them. Right, so that's all that side done. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's all gone mad. Right. At least now, though, I've got that one. It's 33, the highest one in it, so I can just kind of go blah, 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 duplicate special. This is number 30 freaking 4. I hope we can have this many. I hope. Right, that can go like that, I suppose. Oh god, number 35. Oh god. Right, I wonder if I can actually adjust the width for step. No, not the width, the depth a little more. Right, next one. Whilst my sanity's still here. Right, and then again, duplicate special, drag that along, adjust this to number 37 so that it can be red when it gets exported out. Do the same bloody thing, rinse and repeat until you get to the ends of these ones. This is number 38. Done, and then do that one. That's number 39. That's number 39. Done. 39. So, last set of these two here. No, those three here. I mean, just can't get away from these bloody pillars, can I? No matter how hard I try, they just keep coming back. Right, I know this one's going to be crazy, so duplicate my special, set this one to 40. Done. Drag it along. So it needs to be there. Slide it into where that is, slide that acrosswards. So there's that one. That's number 41. Oh, why does it come with that now? Oh god, oh, that's... Oh god. Oh, number 42. Oh, hang on a minute. Did I duplicate it but not actually... Did I... Oh, I did. Alright, okay. That was a bit of good thinking there. Right, so that needs to be pushed back a bit because obviously that's going to be hitting there like that. That's that. So that's all of them done. Minus that one on the stage. Oh my freaking god. Oh my god. That's horrifying me, actually. I hope to god it can take all these SCAs for this room, because if it doesn't, I don't want to be going back and simplifying it, because there's no way to simplify this room. Oh no, there's that extra bit there. No. Oh no. You can tell I'm bloody tired, can't you? Okay, let's just try and get these collisions finished off before I go absolutely insane. Right, so that's fun. So this is 43, isn't it? Right, so this is going to be this wall here, so I need to do some adjustments here. Let's drop the depth up. Right, so that's that done. And now I need to do one across there, and I got to put one there for them, and then I got to put one there for the item box, and I got to put one from there, and then it's all done almost. I got to still do those bits there. But the plus side is I could just have those as two separate blocks and just have them going through, because that'll have the same effect. Right. Oh no. gonna do? I hope it can go over because we're gonna be boned otherwise. Seriously, it's not even an exaggeration. This. Might be able to use those and then maybe duplicate those just to make those little bits there so that you curve around them. Oh God Almighty! Oh dear me, gold. How the hell has this happened? How has it got this many? How? I hope the engine can handle this. I hope to God it can, because I don't want to be simplifying this room. Getting it modelled is enough. Simplifying it for collisions. Oh, no, 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 no. Right, let's do one more. Duplicate special. This one's 46. Drag it there. Shrink this bugger down because I don't need all that. And I'm not being lazy, so. And then just this a little bit. Suppose I'm going to have that going through just a little bit. Almost done. Almost done. So I need to do that there. I need to change that to 47. I don't think I've ever had this many SCAs in a room at once. I just hope there isn't a fucking limit. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever tried to push the SCA limit as far as I'm aware, that I know of. But it's there, isn't it? Right, so that's that bit done. Okay. 2 more sets of collisions done, and that's all done. Oh my God, oh my, I don't even want to, oh, I don't even want to comprehend it. I don't even want to comprehend it. What's this one? Number 48. So we shall 48 it. And I said I was going to adjust these and put these in together, and I'll just slot them through. Right, so potentially that's alright. Yes, no. Do this and adjust the width, which goes to there. So you see what I mean? What I mean about I can collide it through because it allows you to do that, and it doesn't give you any penalty whatsoever because it's a collision block. It doesn't really have anything like that. Number 49. One more, just that in the corner. Just these bits here now. Just these here. Just that one there. Again, I can have that go through, but Right, so that's that done. Right, what I wanted to try and do... Well, what the sanity's left. Oh yeah, I do want to do those as well, but then... can that even be done? Right, so this one's number 8. What I was suggesting do is to do that there. Just to give that little bump. But then that's going to give that bump there, isn't it? And there's not going to be a bump there to do. So I'm going to need to adjust the radius, set that to 1, see what happens. No, not 10. Right, and then what I'll do is just edit, duplicate the special with that. But I know that it's not going to be 10 because the highest is now 51. So as such, I have to change all this to 51 and SCA shape to 51. Oh no, what's happened? Where's my 51? What have you done? Right, you need to be SCA shape 51. What's going on? You need to be renamed to 51. You need to remain as SCA shape 8. That is correct. So I just want to plug that into that corner there. Should be fine. Oh my god. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all the collision data I'm just going to keep in there. Oh my freaking god, that's so many. Right, well at least that's done. So the only thing I'd have to literally do is go over the masking, wouldn't I? Which I can do in one angle. It's not like it's an issue. Just makes it easier to understand the development process, I suppose. I'll do that now because the collisions are done. And masking it can be boring. So obviously I'm just going to get rid of those. So that's the actual boundaries back now. This is all the lovely 3D stuff. So what I'm going to do is just quickly do a render. So I'll show you what I mean by this. So I'm just going to change this to 1024, render that out. So I think I'm going to need to do camera 1 to begin with, because camera 0's got no masking, so that's fine. But I think camera 1's got quite a little bit. Which also reminds me, I'm going to probably have to break some of these walls up just to render this. So let's see what it does. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to mask that lovely bloody tree, aren't I? Oh. Why can't they make my life easy, these rooms? Why? Oh yeah, I'm going to have to mask that thing in the distance as well, because nobody wants to be seeing Leon's stupid little body when it's like when they walk in the room, because he fell head first with his big head. Though technically I don't think it will, but it still have to have a mask though, won't it? Because you don't want to be able to see the character. Right. We've rendered, have we? Excellent. So there is a few bits of masking I'm going to have to do here. Will I have to do that wall? Well, that's a question. The character's there, it's going to be behind the curtain, so I won't need to actually model. Yeah, I don't have to do that. So it's just going to be those pillars, isn't it? Those pillars, potentially that bit of the wall, those chairs, and that plant pot on the floor. So this is what I mean, like when you're doing masking, you need to figure out like what's going to be masked. So I know all these are. So I'm going to put those in as part of the mask, that as well. Because obviously you're looking at it from this angle. That's going to be a mask, that is. Those not so much. that as well. Potentially that wall as well. So then you look again at the render, so let me just shrink this down so I can see what the hell I'm doing. So plant pot, that one and that chair in there, those two there, that one there, and that one there. So when what I do in the render view is I'm going to hit render selected objects only. So when I re-render it now, it's only going to render those particular parts, as you can see. And this is how we do masking. So it doesn't mean we have to rip up the image file. It doesn't mean we have to like do it all by pinpoint. We can just highlight an object. We want to render it as the mask. Render only that. Export it out. Do a bit of fiddling in Photoshop, which I'm going to show in a minute. And that's the mask done. It does look a little weird, doesn't it? But it does work. This is how, you know, most of the rooms you've seen, or at least what I've seen internally when we've been doing the first set of rooms for this. This is how we get the masks to be absolutely accurate to what they are. It's just a case of adjusting the depth after that for each one. But this is how we do masking. And this works. It's foolproof. It does work. Excuse me. So again, I'll just have a look. So I've got all them done. It depends if we have enemies in there. I mean, I suppose we can adjust the masking to that, but it literally just depends on whether we've got enemies that are going to be behind there, but I don't think we're going to. But anyway, I am indeed rambling. Have I got that set as high quality? I have. Right, so I'll show you what I do. So that's 01, isn't it? So I'm just going to quickly save that as 01 mask. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly save this and bring this into Photoshop. Just very quickly, because it won't take long. And I've finished this room, so the only thing that's left is all this bloody masking. So, but then I'm going to have to go and ask the guys if, you know, can we have that many SCAs in a room? It's not going to start breaking it. It's not going to make the engine go doolally, start spawning about 600 zombies, and then it crashes and then deletes the entire hard drive, because you know what? It could happen. We don't know what happens when you push the primitive scales of stuff. So let me just put this in. So 01 mask. I'm just going to quickly bring, I think that's Photoshop. Nope, that's that one. Is it that one? There we go. So there, as you can see, it's got the document in there. So obviously with this being a PNG, this is all transparent. So what I do is I'd use my Magic Wand tool, click everything that I can see. Obviously try and get as much of this alpha transparency bit caught. So obviously where there's like these, this is where you get all the fiddly bits, but you've got to try to get them. Oh god, I forgot how much of a pain in the ass the plant's gonna be. Yeah, I'm not crying. You are. Let's grab that. What? No, don't do this to me now, you son of a bitch. Oh, I wonder if it's because I set the tolerance to that. Hang on. Right, I don't know if this is going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select inverse. So that gives me all of the objects that are there. Then what I'm just going to do is just paint these white. No, it hasn't gone over all of them. It's only highlighted those, hasn't it? God damn it. So we're just going to paint all of that white. Like so. And then I'm going to do that bit in a minute. So I'm going to have to highlight all this again. Right, so again, select, inverse, paint these white. So that's that done. Then just do select, inverse, and paint that black. Of course you didn't highlight those ones, did you? Oh, Jesus. Wet. These are fiddly. I thought the bloody room was going to be fiddly. Oh no, let's just make the mask fiddly as hell as well. Because, you know, my sanity depends on it. And that's basically how we do the masks for these. And then obviously we translate that to whatever it is. And that's just how it is. That's how masking's done with these rooms. This is how we do it. This is how it works. So when it comes to the masking phase, it can be easily imported in, put in the right position. It's just a case of figuring out the depth for each one. But I don't cover that. This is just me going over like what masks do, how we do it with a 3D app, how easy it is when we're doing it this way. And that's how it's achieved. And obviously when you're walking around, you'll be behind the chair rather than going over it, or because of the invisible block, it's going to be like you're walking behind it with the mask in place. But obviously you need to adjust the depth of that. Otherwise you're going to be walking and then all of a sudden your character's going to be behind it, in front of it rather than behind it, and it's all going to go all crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can show you now because the room's finished. I need to go and do the masking for this, get it all exported out. End up crying in a corner because they'll tell me, no, that's too many SCAs, it's not going to load in the engine, and I'll be like, oh, right, anyway. So, I'm going to finish the stream. I'd like to thank everybody who's watched this stream, and who obviously watches all the other ones. And like I said, as long as you can keep watching these, you're going to see a lot of progression with this project. You'll see all these rooms being built, and then obviously the final product is when we get that in-game. Make it so you can walk around it, and obviously add the enemies, add the puzzle elements we're going to be doing, and all those bells and whistles. And then obviously that's how we'll carry on with the Gaiden remake, and that's how we'll get everything working, and everybody be able to play it eventually. But this is all the building blocks. This is how it's all done. And obviously you're seeing this from this perspective rather than obviously a video of it going through. And it's like, well, how do you do that? This is how we do that. So hopefully this stuff's interesting, and hopefully you'll be around for the next video to see me carry on with another room because this one's finished. So I just want to try and get as many done as possible.